Have all members voted? There have been 121 ayes and 23 nays, 2 present not voting, 3 absent. The resolution is adopted.
Folks, we got breaking news here in Texas, and it's kind of a big deal. You got Donald Trump cannonballing into the pool. Attorney General Ken Paxton has been impeached by the House of Representatives here in Texas. Ken Paxton, if you're not aware of what's been going on here, has been under investigation for about 8 years now, for everything from investment crimes to bribery to everything else. And what finally brought him down was he had a girlfriend that lived down in San Antonio, but he didn't like driving from Austin to San Antonio, all 2.5 hours. Boy, he really loved her. So he decided to get her a job in Austin so he could get his freak on in Austin. There was a guy by the name of Neil Paul. He's a real estate developer here in Austin that gave her a job so that she could live up in Austin, and Ken Paxton could cheat on his wife up here. That's what they finally took him down over. That. I mean, not the bribery, not the financial crimes, not the whistleblower settlement that we just had a couple weeks ago, where a couple whistleblowers came forward out of his offices and told us all about the crimes that he had been committing, the bribery and whatnot. And he retaliated against them. And it turns out that Ken Paxton wanted us to pay, Texas, me and my fellow Texans, to pay a $3.3 million settlement for his malfeasance. Yeah, he wasn't going to come out of his pocket. It was going to come out of mine. So what led to this is there's been a bit of a civil war going on here in Texas between Dade Fallon and his folks in the Republican Party, and Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton and his folks in the Republican Party. Dade Fallon, if you haven't been following the news, just showed up on the floor of the House of Representatives a couple days ago, drunk as a skunk. Yeah, I mean, literally couldn't speak, slurred speech, had to lean over when he was gaveling things in. He just, total freaking disaster here in Texas. And Dade Fallon decided to break it off into Ken Paxton, who was come out moving against Dade Fallon for being drunk on the floor. If you don't know, folks, the governor here in Texas really has little to no power. Goes back to the post-Civil War days, Reconstruction. All the racists down here didn't want the governor to have power, so they moved the power to the lieutenant governor and the legislature. And Dade Fallon deftly used that to put Ken Paxton out of his misery. And if you got old Ken Walleye Paxton that's been doing everything under the sun here, folks. I mean, literally, it's been 8 years of investigations that for whatever reason, nobody ever dropped the hammer on him for. But it took this, a mistress, and a dirty, contribution by a real estate investor to bring him down. And folks, he will go down. If you're not familiar with impeachments, the article to impeach is simply to send him to trial in the Senate. But the math isn't working for him, folks. I mean, he in the state of Texas, you don't need a supermajority. You just need a 51%, just a normal majority to go ahead and remove him permanently from office. As it stands now, he will be removed from office temporarily as the trial goes on. But like I said, he's going to lose, folks. He really is going to lose. He's going to be taken out. Unfortunately, I mean, this is what we've come to in my state. It's a bit of a clown show down here. We had a really good candidate, that we Democrats put forward, Rochelle Garza. She's sharp as hell, eminently qualified. There was even an even better candidate in Joe Jaworski, but Republicans jumped into the Democratic primary and voted for Rochelle Garza over Joe Jaworski. Joe Jaworski was even more qualified. So, you know, Republicans, we need to have a talk for a second. Ken Paxton was warned against this stuff. He was literally warned by fellow Republicans. Don't do this with your mistress. It's going to get you in trouble. Didn't listen. You know, all the whistleblowers, he retaliated against them. He's tried to retaliate against members of the House prior to the impeachment vote. Then you have Donald Trump, as we talked about, putting a threatening tweet out in support of Ken Paxton because Ken Paxton just could not get enough of Mango Mussolini's taint. I mean, just lawsuit after lawsuit over the election, just nonsense. Ken Paxton was Donald Trump's solid soldier. But you know, Republicans, we Democrats gave you a choice, a real choice. Eminently qualified candidates. We didn't just put bomb throwers out there. We didn't put the left of the left. These were Texas Democrats, which means by most places in the country they're far right of center. And we gave you a choice. But you chose instead to go with Ken Walleye Paxton. This is on you. You need to look inside yourselves and you need to figure out that it's the Democratic Party that's providing you decent candidates that really get things done. I love you folks. While I've got you here, I need you to reach down, hit the subscribe button. I need you to hit the like button. Let's get this out to people so that we can have a real conversation on this as things unfold. This is Old Texas Paul. Y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.